The Transcendent Seed of Abraham by Charles E Newbold Jr, Part 3. The Son of Promise. Eliezer. The covenant had been made with Abraham and his seed after him. Abraham was getting old, and Yahweh had not yet given him a descendant from his own flesh. Before Abraham's name was changed, he asked Yahweh what he would give him since he was childless. He bargained with Yahweh to accept Eliezer of Damascus, who had been born in his house, to be his heir. Yahweh answered him, "This man will not be your heir, but one who will come forth from your own body shall be your heir." Genesis 15, 1-4. Ishmael. Still, no heir was born to Abraham from his own body. Abraham's wife Sarai, before her name was changed, had not birthed him any children. After they had lived 10 years in the land of Canaan, Sarah, not believing she would have a child, gave Hagar, her Egyptian maid, to Abram as his wife, and Ishmael was born. Genesis 16, 1-3. Ishmael means God will hear. Contention arose between Sarai and Hagar was driven out of Sarai's presence into the wilderness. The angel of Yahweh spoke to her there by a spring of water, and told her to return to Sarai and submit to her authority as her maid. Regarding Ishmael, the angel of Yahweh promised her that he would greatly multiply her descendants, so that they likewise would be too many to count. One covenant was made with Abraham, while the other was made with Hagar. The first was made with the patriarch of a people. The latter was made with the matriarch of a people. As for Ishmael, the angel of Yahweh prophesied that he will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand will be against him. He will live to the east of all his brothers. The Arabs are the descendants of Ishmael. Isaac. Because of this covenant with its promises, Sarah was destined to give birth to a son, whose name would be Isaac. Yahweh affirmed, "I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his descendants after him." Genesis 17, 19-20. Isaac was the son of promise. Abraham was 99 years old when Yahweh renewed his promise to him and told him that Sarah would bear him a son. Abraham fell on his face with laughter because Sarah was old and beyond her natural ability to bear children. But a miracle was on the way. Yahweh said that Sarah, his wife, would bear him a son, and he was to call his name Isaac. When Sarah heard of it, she too laughed at the thought of it. Genesis 18, 9-11 and 21:6. Isaac means he laughs. Abraham tested. Yahweh, who often made use of allegory throughout his written word, and who knows the end from the beginning, predetermined that Abraham would picture Yahweh as father, and Isaac would picture the son of Yahweh as the sacrificial lamb. So Abraham was tested. Yahweh called out to Abraham and told him to take Isaac, his only son, born of his covenant wife Sarah, and offer him for a burnt offering upon a mountain in the land of Moriah. Abraham took wood, fire, and his son and went where he was told. Isaac did not know what Yahweh had told his father, but he noticed that something was missing. "My father," he asked, "look, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering?" Abraham assured him that Yahweh would provide for himself a lamb for the burnt offering. Abraham took the knife to slay his son, and the angel of Yahweh called out of heaven to him and told him not to lay his hand upon the lad. "For now I know that you fear God, seeing that you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me." Abraham saw a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. he went and took the ram and offered it up for a burnt offering instead of his son. Genesis 22, 1-14. Rebekah. Not only is Isaac pictured as the sacrificial son, the Lamb of Yahweh, he is also pictured as a type of Messiah who takes a bride unto himself. Abraham sent his servant to the land of his kinsman to find a wife for Isaac. Isaac was not to take a wife from among the Canaanites. Isaac's bride-to-be was chosen beforehand by Yahweh and was confirmed by Abraham's servant. When Rebekah consented to return with the servant to his master, her family blessed her, saying, "You are our sister, you will be the mother of thousands of millions, and let your seed possess the gate of those who hate them." Genesis 24, 58-60. This blessing is similar to the promise Yahweh gave to Abraham, saying, "That in blessing I will bless you, and in multiplying I will multiply your seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore, and your seed shall possess the gate of his enemies." Genesis 22:17. Transcendent Seed. We have a problem though. Did not Yahweh say to Abraham, "And to you and to your seed after you"? Was not Ishmael Abram's seed? Did not Abraham have other sons born to him by concubines after Sarah's death? Were they not all circumcised? Yet the covenant passed only to Isaac. How do we account for this discrepancy? Consider that there are two different natures of seed at issue here. Abraham's biological seed was the same for all, but there is more than biological seed involved here. Yahweh introduced a whole different kind of seed or offspring. This seed was to a degree biological, but it was more than biological. This seed was chosen beforehand in the foreknowledge of Yahweh. It was impregnated with the eternal living word of Yahweh in the form of a covenant with promises. Therefore, it transcends or goes above earthly, natural, biological seed. To coin the phrase, it was transcendent seed. Though having to do with sperm, this seed refers to a particular, peculiar, chosen and transcendent people of promise based on faith, a people of Yahweh's own choosing. The transcendent seed implants the life of Yahweh in his chosen ones when it is received by faith. By faith, Abraham believed, and righteousness was credited to him. One can be called and chosen as a descendant of Abraham and yet not be faithful. The election is to no avail if it is not mixed with faith. This peculiar seed and this timeless line, though they are experienced in history, are eternal and pertain to the kingdom of Yahweh. Though they touch earth, they transcend the earthly realm. Though they permeate the natural realm, they transcend the natural realm and are supernatural in essence. They picture in the natural Yahweh's eternal purposes and plans in the spiritual realm of his kingdom, a kingdom that is not of this world. This covenant was a covenant of promise based on faith. It defies all logic and reason. Faith is a distinguishing mark of this transcendent seed. For the promise that he should be the heir of the world was not to Abraham or to his seed through the law, but through the righteousness of faith. Romans 4:13. The objective of this study is to follow this transcendent seed of Abraham through the ages, illustrated in the timeless line, that we might know whose we are and in the process come to know who we are.